Hello, this is a demonstration of the Cogito's auto-enrollment system and its interoperation with IIS websites and the website's SSL bindings. For this demonstration, I'll be using the default website you can see here. I've set it up to use an SSL certificate that is being enrolled using the Jellyfish auto-enrollment system within the Jellyfish portal. I've set the certificate to have a common name and DNS name pulled from Active Directory. In my certificate store, you can see that I have a JF per client 001. This is my auto-enrollment certificate. If I inspect the certificate, I can see that the serial number ends in C8. During this demonstration, I will re-enroll the certificate and we expect the serial number to increment. Other than that, the details will remain very similar. The validity period for my certificate, you will note, is only 1 hour. This is so that I can renew the certificate without waiting a period of time during this demonstration. Normally this would be done automatically. However, I will be using the certificate utility to pulse my auto-enrollment system and receive a new copy within IIS. My website has two bindings. The first binding is set to use the SSL certificate that has been auto-enrolled. If we inspect the certificate, we can see that it does indeed end in serial C8. Within my website, if I inspect the security information of my SSL connection, I can see that the certificate that is being presented again ends with the serial C8. I'm now going to renew the certificate in PowerShell. I'm simply going to type search_pulse. This will trigger a refresh of any certificates that are using an auto-enrollment template, and seeing as the validity period is only 1 hour, the certificate will be renewed. It may take a couple of seconds for the certificate to be issued, but once it arrives, I can see that the certificate is incremented. Oh, here we go. The new certificate has been issued with the serial C9. This is how we're going to identify that this is indeed a new certificate that has come down from the CA. Since we have configured our web server to automatically update certificate bindings that have been renewed, we can see that the binding for our auto-enrollment template has also been updated. If we look at the details of the certificate, we can see that the serial now ends in C9. And if we refresh our website, our connection should still be secure. If we inspect the certificate once more, we can see again that the serial number presented is C9. It may be the case that your website is using a certificate that is not issued through the auto-enrollment system. As is the case with the second binding for our IIS website, we're going to set this one to use our default website certificate. This is a certificate I manually issued earlier today. If we have a look in our certificate store, we can have a look at its serial number. This one ends in 204. I have a second certificate on this machine that I'm going to install alongside the existing certificate. This will result in having two matching certificates that have an overlap period. This is usually the case when an operations member is going to be manually updating certificates on a machine. We do not want to have to manually configure all of our bindings for any websites that may be using this SSL certificate. So now that it's installed, you can see that I have two installed here. The newer one, sorting by expiration date, is a serial number of 2A5, one higher than the previous certificate. We have a scheduled task installed as part of Jellyfish that listens to the event, triggered when a certificate is installed into the store. This will trigger a refresh of any bindings that may be using a manually specified SSL certificate. It is not covered by the SSL renewal function built into IIS. We have a look at our settings second binding. We can see that it is using the default website certificate, but the newer one ending in 2A5. And if we go back to our website through the second port to receive the second binding, we can see that again, our connection is still secure and the certificate we are being presented is indeed the newer one, ending in 2A5. That concludes our demonstration on Cogito's auto enrollment system and its interoperability with IIS.